Welcome back. Most of us can recognize our unhealthy eating habits, but it is harder to know how we can improve those nutrition-related chronic conditions and also see sustainable weight loss. Our next guest devotes her life to helping people build a healthy relationship with food and weight loss. And so we welcome nutritionist and dietitian Kay Loughrey, who is now also the author of a new book, Happy Life at a Healthy Weight, Creating a Shame-Free Healthy Relationship with Food and Life. Thank you, Kay, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Is this a lifelong mission of yours to help other people get a better relationship with their food?
Absolutely. And it started early with me. I actually had a very unhealthy relationship with food starting when I was 8 years old. And
Wow.
so I had years of overeating and yo-yo dieting, decades of that. And when I looked in the mirror, I didn't even like who I saw. So it really took a long time for me to get help, and I became a dietitian while I did that. And for the last 16 years, I no longer overeat or yo-yo diet, and I look in the mirror and I love who I see. And I realized that this yo-yo dieting was the big part of the problem.
Right.
So now it is my purpose, as you said so well, that to help make a difference in the lives of people who are struggling. They're struggling with their weight and their relationship with food.
Yeah, I know it's not easy to figure out how do we get to be in your shoes. You have 5 steps that people can do. We'll see how many we can get through. First of all, what is the trigger? What is it that's what you ask people, right, when they're talking about they have this problem with food?
Right, and it could go back to, it could go back to childhood. It could be something that came from a trauma, or even body image with women, because I believe that for women, food and shame go together.
Yeah.
So it could be something smaller in your life that actually triggers it. One of my clients who I talk about in the book, she was lonely after dinner because her family dispersed after eating their meal and not talking to her and not saying thank you. So that was a trigger for her to start the food cravings, which is really the second step.
Okay, yeah, the second step, what are you craving? Is that right?
Yeah, and everybody's different. I'll just use Katie for an example. She was drinking like several beers, 3 or 4 beers, eating a bag of chips and a bowl of ice cream after dinner, because that's how she was trying to soothe herself.
Yeah, how she was trying to process those emotions.
Right, and get some relief.
Yeah. Okay, so the third step is how to pause. Is that right?
Yeah, and that's the tricky thing. How to disrupt that is to need to pause and slow down, because it's a kind of fight or flight response. So if you can slow down, pause, and ask yourself a couple questions like, am I hungry? Is it worth it to do this and feel bloated and have a hangover tomorrow?
Yeah. How will I feel after? Those kinds of questions.
Just kind of being able to slow yourself down and say, whoa, wait a minute here.
Yeah. Okay. Number 4 was, what do you really want? Right?
Yeah, and it's what are you feeling and what do you really want in the moment. And if we look back to Katie, what she really wanted, she was lonely. And what she really wanted was connection with people.
Yeah. Yeah, it is always something deeper, right, than the bag of chips and ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so how do you figure this out? What are your options? Is that the last step?
Right, that's the last step. And so other than food. So we're thinking that it's somebody who's not really hungry. They're just eating out of, something that's feeling related. So what are those options? For Katie, it was calling her sister. But if that didn't work for her, she could always take a walk with a neighbor or go talk to her daughter. So they end up being pretty simple solutions, but you can't really do it while you have the bowl of ice cream in your hand. That's why people are seeing me. Or in the book, I lay out all of those steps and Katie's example, so people can reflect and see what their own path would be, their own 5 steps.
So helpful. Thank you for all your advice today. I know there's more that everyone can check out in the book. It's everywhere books are sold, right?
Yes.
People can find your book. Okay.
Absolutely.
You got to check it out. Thank you for all your help today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.